What's up? What's up? It's your girl Soncerae right here. I am chilling for once. I don't chill often. It's very difficult for me to do a live stream. I'm starting to do a podcast again. Those of you that remember, I used to do a podcast called The God Queen Live. I'm probably going to start doing the God Queen Live podcast again. And I'm also doing another podcast about true crime, which is basically the money crimes that people would do, like embezzlement, Ponzi schemes, insurance fraud, mortgage fraud, all of those things. I will be posting my first podcast that has something to do with money crimes next week. Okay. This week is all going to be what I've been posting. Like if you go on my social media, like my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube community tab, I try to post stuff that's relevant to people, but at the same time, what's relevant to me may not be relevant to other people. And a lot of times what y'all are interested in, I am not. You know what I'm saying? So it's very difficult to try to like build my content strategy around what everybody else wants to see instead of making it solely about myself. But at the same time, it's like I have to be myself. I have to talk solely about what it is that I want to discuss and what I'm good at. And I can't keep talking about negativity. And I feel like as of lately, I've been talking a lot about negativity. And the two main things I've been talking about the most as far as negativity goes is number one, the bad reviews written on my Owning Opulence Amazon book. If you go to Amazon.com and you go look and try to order a paperback or try to get my book off of Kindle, you go see, at last time I checked, it was like 21 reviews up there. I haven't read the reviews yet, but it's 21 reviews up there. I glanced over it for a second sometime last week or the week before because somebody came to me and said that I had bad reviews. And then a friend of mine came to me the other day and said, Soncerae, I think you need to pull your book off of Amazon because there's people inside of the reviews just saying whatever. Now, I could just report the reviews and get them taken down. Amazon gives you that specific like feature. I can go in there and say, hey, this is bullshit, this is bullshit, this is bullshit, take this down. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? I would rather keep that shit up there because specifically inside of my book, I talked about people who hate the way that those people inside of my book reviews are doing. Honestly, most of the first of all, when I looked at it the first time, it was only 6 reviews. So I encouraged everybody to go get a copy when it was free or go get it on Kindle when it was free. I did a 3-day free book promotional book review. Sorry, a free Lord, I can barely speak. Listen, three. I did a 3-day free book promotion after I heard that I had some bad reviews, right? So I encourage everybody here, have a free book. Say what you want to say about my book. Just make sure that it's the honest to God truth and you're not being disrespectful and ugly because I've seen a lot of people be like real ugly. And a lot of those people that was in the reviews, even though it's a handful that right now, because it's only like 20 in there, the people that commented the loudest and the most, the people that talk the loudest and the most ugliest and negative people are all people who were a part of a YouTube community. And you can tell that these are the people that they are because they speak about my videos. And somebody else brought to my attention, it was like, why in the world would somebody who don't like your videos, number one, stay subscribed to your channel. Number two, stay commenting on your videos. Number three, go turn around and spend money on your book and then complain about having to spend $25. Like, come on, y'all. If you're struggling with $25, there is no way in the world you're going to be able to manage 2,500, 25,000, 25 million. If you sitting here complaining about spending $25 on a book that you consider a small little pamphlet or something like that, or it's not long enough for you, or it's not what you expecting it to be, man, you really need to work on your finances. Because as far as I am concerned, $25 is like 25 cents to me right now. That's how much money I make. That's how valuable less $25 is. So if you're complaining about spending $25 on a book, you got a bigger issue. There's nothing I can do for you. if $25 is a waste of money to you to spend on a book so you can learn the person that's trying to teach you about finances, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, I really don't. I really don't. Like, it's nothing that I can do about that. You know what I'm saying? I can't. So anyway, I decided that I was going to do the free book promotion. I did that. And as I continue to talk about, people posting negative reviews, a lot of people are giving me their feedback. And a lot of people are under the impression that because I started doing TikTok videos, that must be the reason why I'm more popular than I was when I was on YouTube. And that's not really the case. What's happening on TikTok has a lot to do with how much energy I put into something. My success comes from how much energy I put into it. So, for example, when I used to do YouTube videos every day and I used to sit down and edit my content and do all my graphics and stuff, I was putting a lot of energy into creating content. So I was successful on YouTube. But the second I start pulling my energy away from it and putting it elsewhere, then it no longer gets the nurture and the care that it needs. It has nothing to do with people looking at me different on TikTok, because a lot of times when I look at my TikTok comment section, I see people that I used to see on YouTube and they're like, "Oh, I remember your videos on YouTube." And we get to talking back and forth. So it's not that TikTok gave me like this second chance to become, relevant to the world. It was more of wherever I put my energy into is where I'm going to be successful at. It's the same thing with Instagram. Like, I've had an Instagram account for many, many years. Instagram is something that I've been on for a long time, and I never really put forth the energy to do anything with Instagram until recently. So now I'm successful on Instagram. Now it's easy to get like followers. I'm better at getting followers than I am with getting likes. People save my content. Like, anything that I post, maybe my quotes or something like that, they usually save them. So I'm good at getting followers over there. What I'm not good at, one of my weakest points, is posting content that people like. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that will make a whole bunch of people like it. Because to me, it's like I have like this esoteric thought process where I think what I want to think. I say what I want to say. I'm not going to like repeat or regurgitate something somebody else is saying so I can be a part of this collective group of people. I say what I say because it's what I think. And as long as I continue to be an individual, I think I will bring more value to myself doing that instead of following behind a whole bunch of other people. Hey, Ashley, I see you up in there, by the way. I see you. Let me just say what's up to you right quick. So I think that a lot of people um, are expecting me to be their version of what they want me to be in order for me to get likes from them. So it's like I have a lot of people watching me, but I have a lot of people who don't put forth the energy to engage often unless it's something controversial. And when I talk about something controversial, it'll always have something to do with men. The majority of the people on Instagram are men that follow me. And then on TikTok is more females. And then on YouTube is even. So if I'm making content on TikTok, it's designed for women most times because that's where most of the women go to interact with me and my content. If I'm on Instagram, I try to post more content for men, but I would prefer posting more content for women because men have taken over YouTube. They have taken over my YouTube community. So it's like, y'all need to stay over here. If y'all gonna keep coming in my comment section with a lot of negativity, men tend to post a lot of negativity all of the time. And no matter what I post, regardless to what I'm saying, whether it's I feel how I feel about hypergamy, how I don't support that, how I feel like women should secure their own bag. I talk about single motherhood all the time. And those are the topics that people tend to engage with all of the time. If I'm talking about something controversial, and anytime I talk about something like that, some man will come in my comment section asking me to go on Kevin Samuels' channel. And I keep trying to explain to everybody, I have no interest in anything that has to do with Kevin Samuels. I promise you. Like, let me explain something to everybody if you haven't heard it already. Let me just say it again. And if you heard it before, I'm sorry, I got to repeat this. But a lot of men just don't get it. To me, even though you guys love Kevin Samuels so much, and I think the majority of the reasons why, one of the major reasons why you guys love Kevin Samuels so much is because he likes to bring women down up off that high horse that they think that they are on. And even if they are successful women, beautiful women, nice women, feminine women, he does not want them to have confidence. It kind of reminds me of like a pimp. Like in order for a pimp to break in a hoe, he has to put her down first. And that's what that kind of reminds me of. Or like maybe a horse. You know, you have to break a horse in order to get for a horse to follow behind you. That's what I feel like he's doing in order to get a lot of women to follow behind him. Because sometimes when I look at these clips and I see that he is interacting with a woman, I can't understand why any woman would feel comfortable with speaking to him, because he degrades and disrespects women. Being honest or keeping it a buck with a woman, it doesn't mean that you have to be disrespectful or ugly. It just doesn't. Just in just from my perspective, he doesn't have enough faith-based content. I'm a very spiritual woman. I like anything that has to do with God or the universe, or those are things that's interesting to me. So he doesn't do it for me. He's not Nothing that he does is becoming of a gentleman, and I would prefer to interact with men who are on my level instead of men I believe who are beneath me in real life. And regardless of how much you guys love this dude, or how many followers he has, or how much money you feel like he has, in my eyes, I do not value those things. What would be more valuable to me as far as he goes is if he did something better with his character. If he had emotional intelligence and a little bit of self-control. He loses his temper on his show all of the time when he's dealing with women. So I just prefer to not have that type of energy around me. So I wish men would stop asking me to be on this man's show. I really would, because I'm just not. It's not for me. It may be for some other chicks, but it's not for me. And a lot of them want to understand. The women that call in, they want to understand why they don't have a man. Me, I'm not concerned. I'm not interested in finding a man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sitting here dumbfounded as to why I'm not married or why I'm single. I actually enjoy being single. And honestly, being single feels great to me because I have to be careful about who I have around my son. I don't want to be juggling a whole bunch of men, or, having my son see a whole bunch of men be with me. That's not cool. I'm not okay with that. So I'm not going to be introducing my son to a whole bunch of men. I can't date right now. I just feel like that's not something I want to do. That's not the space that I'm in. I'm just more about my business, entrepreneurship, making money, things of that nature. I'm just not focused on the other things that a lot of people, I don't know, are interested in. And one of the things that confuses me about the men that come into my comment section as well is they like to put me down for being an entrepreneur and encouraging women to secure their own bag. They claim that millionaires and men with money, men who are affluent, they do not care about a woman's education or a woman's finances. And I always say I beg to differ, because if you use Google properly, you can Google millionaires and billionaires, and all of the millionaires and billionaires who are actually not even people of color at this point. Most of them have wives and girlfriends who are graduates from Harvard and Stanford. They got their education together. They got their PhDs and their doctorates and all types of stuff. And they have their own money. They can stand up for themselves. They can carry their own weight. That's how millionaires operate. No millionaire who is particular about what he's doing with his own behavior is just going to leave his legacy into the hands of some uneducated broke basica who doesn't have any goals or hasn't accomplished anything. So when men say to me, affluent men don't care about a woman's finances, about a woman's education, to me, that is the mentality of a broke man talking about a man that he wishes he was. In order for you to be an affluent person, you have to be careful about your social circle and who you hang around. One of the things that they teach you as far as um, sociology or the psychology of people, a lot of people tribe up. They click up. If you notice, wealthy people help wealthy people, cops help cops, nurses help nurses, firefighters help firefighters. A lot of times you don't see them hanging around other groups of people, just like any other gang. Bloods help bloods, Crips help Crips. You do not see wealthy men around here hanging around a whole bunch of broke bitches. It's just not something that they do. So if you see a whole bunch of men who are supposedly wealthy doing this, they're always in the strip club, throwing ones at hoes, they're always doing a whole bunch of stuff. These men are not necessarily the brightest of the bunch. Men who are affluent want to date women who are financially literate. If these women do not know how to carry their own weight, handle their own business, put their big girl pants on, these men are not going to want to date them. Any man in their right mind, any smart, affluent man is going to want to know where this woman stands education wise and how much money she makes on her own, unless he only just wants to sleep with her. Wealthy men can buy maids, they can buy chefs, they can buy surrogates and nannies and stuff. So all of this stuff that's women talking about, oh, I create, I turn a house into a home. I'm a homemaker. Being a homemaker, as much as I have respect for women who were homemakers at some point in their life, I want a lot of women who are new age, who are modern, to understand the days of being a homemaker are over. And a lot of men want women, and women want this too. Women want men to be traditional. Men want women to be traditional. But the traditional ways of doing things are outdated. We have evolved into a whole nother thing, especially with the pandemic. Most of the incomes nowadays, most of the households, you have to have two sources of income. It doesn't mean that you have to be in a relationship with someone. You could be single and have more than one source of income. So it's not about how it used to be where only one person could be the breadwinner, and that was the reason why a lot of women were marrying men. Now women can go out there and get their own bread. This is what I've been trying to get people to understand. Like, women are now able to do the things that we couldn't do. That was the point of feminism. That was the point of women's rights, to be able to give us the freedom to go out there and make our own money and not have to lay up under a man to do it. So when I'm talking about hypergamy, and I'm talking about stuff like this, a lot of men get upset with me, and they're like, this is why these women are single, because they don't need a man. Honestly, it's like, as a man yourself, why are you so desperate in needing a woman to need you in order for you to love her? That seems weird. It seems off. It's like a lot of men just want women that they can control. And we're not talking about affluent men. We're talking about men that do not have control of their finances, of their business, of their household. A lot of them don't have control in their real life, so they want to try to put control on the woman that they're with because they don't have control of anything else. So to me, it's like, y'all got to make up your mind. Men who are wealthy, or men who claim to be wealthy, swear up and down that women use them for money. But at the same time, you guys are throwing money in these women's faces, telling them that you want to be their provider. But then you get mad when that's all women care about. When they get on a date, they're interviewing you. They're trying to figure out how much money you make. Well, you putting yourself out there as the provider, the one who has the money. So of course, women, that's the first thing they're going to come to you wanting to know about. But if you look for women who have their education and their own money, then you don't have to worry about some woman coming to you and only trying to get you for your bread. A partnership is supposed to be reciprocity. It's supposed to be two people reciprocating. It's supposed to be two people taking care of each other. A family, one unit. Not one person having all of these responsibilities while the other person does not. And a lot of times women feel so entitled to a man's money. That's why they feel so uncomfortable with the concept of, what do you bring to the table? That question bothers a lot of women, because a lot of women do not know what they will bring to the table other than sex and beauty, cooking and cleaning. A lot of them do not know. That's why they hate that question so much. But if you word it different as a man, if you come to a woman and you're on a date, instead of saying, hey, home, hey, sweetheart, not homes, hey, sweetheart, what do you bring to the table? Instead of saying that, say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's basically the derivative of, what do you bring to the table? Most women will feel completely fine with you saying, hey, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Any man who is worth anything has the right to ask that question. We all have options. Men have options. Women have options. So the way that the world is nowadays, you need to be asking these type of questions. And if you are a person who is of value and you want a position in somebody's life, you damn right you need to prove yourself to the person that you're interested in, whether you're male or female. Too many people feel like they don't have to prove themselves or they shouldn't have to do X, Y, and Z. That's bullshit to me. I'm not going to sit here and preach the message of the female collective, which is been our providers and we should, date up and then turn around and expect men to date down and be with us. That doesn't make any sense to me. You don't want to date down yourself, right? You don't want to date a guy that's broke. You don't want to date a guy that doesn't have any ambition or any goals or anything. So why are you expecting that from a man? People need to hold themselves to the same standards that they hold other people. And that's the issue that I'm having when men come into my comment section and they just are so upset when I tell women, hey, go out there and secure your own bag. You don't really need a man. If a man is in your life, choose for him to be there. He is supposed to help you create a lifestyle. I'm sorry, he's not supposed to help you create a lifestyle. You are supposed to create your own lifestyle, and he is supposed to help you maintain it. That's it. He's not supposed to create it for you. And that's the problem that a lot of women have, and they hate when I say this. They hate when I say this. Like I was on Tony Gaskin's Instagram the other day, and he was saying that any man who asks a woman what she has, what she brings to the table is a lame. And I was saying to all the women in there, like, just because a man asks that doesn't mean he's lame. It means he actually cares. I would prefer a man ask me that because that means that he cares about something other than what I'm like in bed. Because most times all men care about is what I'm like in bed, right? Most men, the first thing that's on their mind when they meet me is what am I like in bed? So if I'm having a conversation with a man and he bursts out like, oh, so what do you feel like you bring to the table inside of a relationship? Or where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or, how do you think about yourself? How do you have confidence in yourself? Are you secure in who you are? Are you educated? Have you built something for yourself? These are things that men need to be asking women. Men do not ask women this, and then they get caught up in these relationships where they're under so much pressure financially. Like, let's be realistic here. It's difficult, it's strenuous for a lot of men to carry an entire household or an entire relationship financially by himself. It's difficult. Whether men want to admit it or not, because they have so much pride, it's definitely an issue for them. Now, speaking about financial stability, another thing that is inside of my comments that I see all of the time is people asking me about insurance. Because I always say, in order to be financially stable, in order to become a millionaire, one of the things that you definitely need to do is buy life insurance. If you buy life insurance, that's the first step to you getting to where you need to be. Buy life insurance. Then what you do after that is do a collateral assignment. What a collateral assignment is, you're basically using that policy, the cash value of that policy as a collateral to take out a loan. Once you take out a loan, create an LLC and then start buying real estate, NFTs, stocks, cryptocurrency, all of that stuff with the money that you took out as a loan. Now, when I say this to people, when I say life insurance, life insurance, life insurance, life insurance, people wasn't understanding. So I broke it down in that way. And then some man came to me and said something about Dave Ramsey. And for some reason, everybody thinks that Dave Ramsey is it. Just because Dave Ramsey has a loud ass mouth doesn't mean he's the only one that's giving financial advice. There's so many people out there that are millionaires that are giving out good advice. And sometimes what a lot of people don't understand is just because your favorite person is giving out advice doesn't mean there aren't other people out there that disagree with him or that have other methods that also work. So being as though Dave Ramsey is one of those people where he's telling everybody that buying life insurance and putting money into life insurance or getting a loan out of life insurance is a bad idea, there are plenty of people out there that give financial advice that are saying this is what's working for me. This is what I did, and this is how I earned my millions. There's not one way to make $1 million. There's not one way to make even just six figures. Even though I'm at the seven figure, I'm going headed to. Don't say I said I was a millionaire because I know how you YouTube people are. Some of y'all listening like shit just so y'all can start some weird ass rumor and be like, Soncerae lied about being a millionaire. No, I'm dead ass close to having seven figures. And when I make seven figures, well over seven figures, I will let y'all know. But right now, that's not what the point of my book was. Like, I digress for a second about Dave Ramsey, but let me talk about Owning Opulence right quick. My book, Owning Opulence. Owning Opulence, The Road to Becoming a Millionaire, is about my personal journey. My introductional book is about my personal journey. It's a series of books. So my next book after this is going to be in detail of anything that I mentioned in the first book. So in my first book, I'm talking about monetizing your social media. I'm talking about cryptocurrency and stock and real estate and all of the things that I did in order to get out of the situation that I'm in. But I also introduced myself to people because it was a lot of people that didn't know who I was. It was a lot of people, just as many people that know who I am, it's just as many people that don't. So the first book is just an introductory book to anybody who just doesn't know who I am. It's not for people on YouTube who've been following me for years, or my subscribers who have been in my community all of this time, or people who are stalking and harassing me. That's not who my book is for. My book is for people who don't know who I am. Now, my second book, definitely for the society. You understand what I'm saying? Definitely for the secret society. You feel me? Because here's what I wanted to do. This is a test of wills to me. This is a test of wills. This was to see who was truly my supporter. Who are truly my supporters out there? Who are literally part of the secret society? Who are literally part of the echelon? Who are they? This was me seeing who would really invest their time and energy into me as a content creator, as well as invest their time and energy into their own careers and their own lives. I would like for my community to be a positive set of people, all about positive energy, all trying to improve who they are as individuals. That's what I want. All of this other stuff, I'm not interested in. You know what I mean? Like, any type of drama, not interested in it. I've been drama free for a while and I would like to stay that way. But I think, as to go back to what I was talking about in the beginning, where I was reading my um, other people were reading my Amazon reviews and they were coming to me and telling me what was up. I just was like, I don't know what to tell you about these people other than I don't know them personally, and it looks like, even to the person that's talking to me, that these people are trying to personally attack me as a person, not necessarily my book, just me as a person. Because I don't know, some people just jealous, some people just envious like that. I don't know, you know. But anyway, back to Dave Ramsey. So Dave Ramsey may give you good advice about money, but there are also other people that give you good advice about money as well. Dave Ramsey is not the be all. I can direct you to a whole bunch of other financial people who are way better than this dude. Just because he's the most popular doesn't mean he's the best. Just like this same shit with Kevin Samuels. A lot of you think because he has so many followers that must mean something. No, just because a person has a lot of sheep doesn't mean that them sheep are that bright. It doesn't mean that that person is that bright. I always give people credit for being able to get a whole bunch of followers, but you guys have to also understand that a lot of people just not that bright. A lot of people follow behind anything, whatever the trend is. That's what people follow behind. I don't want people following behind me because it's a trend to do so. I want people to follow behind me because it's valuable to them. It means something to them. You know what I mean? That's what my thing is. It's not about any other thing than, I don't know, what everybody else wants it to be. So I feel like, for me, right, for me specifically, as I walk through this journey and I keep putting out content, like I keep putting out books, or I keep putting out social media stuff. And by the way, my book, you can download the PDF if you go to my website. It's up on Soncerae.com. You can download the PDF if you want to. But if you want a paperback, or if you want it on Kindle, you can go ahead and click the Amazon link. I would appreciate it if whoever purchases my book to please put a honest review inside of my review, because what I noticed about a lot of people who were coming to me talking about the reviews that I haven't even reviewed yet is that some people were saying that my book didn't have certain things in it that it does have. And, you know, I don't know what to tell you after that. After I've given it away for 3 days, I don't know what else to do. But if you just got to look for yourself, you got to make your own decisions. And if you don't like the book, then that's fine. I'm comfortable with that too, because it's not for everybody. It's designed for a specific set of people. It took me a long time to write my first book, and I'm happy with it. And my second book will most likely be better. And please understand that whatever it is that you decide that you want to put in um, my Amazon reviews, when I do sit down and read all of them, because I'm probably going to do a live stream about them eventually after I get enough. Let me get to about 50 of them, and then I'll sit down and read all of them and just deal with them that way. But um, I really feel like a lot of the negative stuff, like that chick that just posted, "We know you homeless, we know you in a hotel." Sometimes I feel like people are mentally disturbed, like something is fucking wrong with them. Like, I don't care, and I said this before in my last live stream, I don't give a fuck if I live in a goddamn hut. I don't give a fuck if I live in a tent. I don't give a fuck if I live in a car. None of that will never be your business, and I would like for my private life to be separate from what I'm doing online, because my mother, my daughter, my son, my extended family, my mother's family, they have nothing to do with what I'm trying to do with the lives of people who are following behind me. They have nothing to do with the society. You know what I'm saying? They have nothing to do with the echelon of people that I'm trying to help improve their lives. Okay? Leave my family out of it. That's why I'm not, like, as you can see, I do videos like out of my car. I do videos. I never do videos in my house. I never do videos with my son anymore. I used to do videos with my son all of the time. I don't do videos with my family anymore because I would like for my family to keep their privacy. I am not interested in meshing the two. I'm not going to sit up here and flash homes, cars, what y'all need to see in order for y'all to believe that I'm, financially stable. What makes me financially stable has something to do with 1,000 other things that I have no problem teaching. And that's what my goals are. I'm not here to teach you a false sense of wealth. And a lot of people teach you a false sense of wealth by showing you jewelry, cars, handbags, shoes, houses, and then next thing you know, they're filing for bankruptcy, or their house getting snatched or going into foreclosure. That's not what I'm out here teaching people. My thing is, be out here buying land, buy multifamily units, buy NFTs, cryptocurrency, and stock. Get you some life insurance. That's all I'm talking about. You understand? Like, I'm not about to sit up here and show you my private plane. I might show y'all pictures of me on vacation. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm considering it, but at the same time, it's like I'm trying to protect what I love most, because people overstep the boundary. People overstep the boundary sometimes. And I personally want a community of people who are focused on becoming better and creating better lives for themselves, instead of focusing on my personal life so much. So many people keep focusing on my personal life instead of focusing on their own lives. And that's a problem for me. Like, if your life is that empty to where you want to focus on my personal life, that's a problem. Like, I can introduce you, I can tell you a few stories. Like, I tell the story about how I was homeless, and then I moved into a brand new house. I rented a house. I got other properties. I talk about that in my book. I talk about my journey, how I went from being homeless in the Ford Explorer to moving to California and leaving Atlanta. I talk about those things, but I talk about those things because those are lessons that'll be valuable to whoever needs to hear it, because it's a lot of people who are inside of that type of situation and they think they can't get out of it. That is the only reason why I told the story, the truth. You wrote your book on your personal life. You keep putting your personal life out there. No, that's not what I'm doing. Goofball. Like, are you listening to anything that I'm saying? Let me repeat myself for those of you who are not in the secret society, who are not a part of the echelon, who just want to be messy and dramatic. Let me explain something to you again. Let me go over it one more time because maybe repetition to get through your thick skull. I know a lot of y'all have some critical thinking, you know, challenges. So let me explain it to you one more time. And I've said this on my channel a million times, but I guess I got to do it again. All right. 80% of my life, you don't know. 80% of my life, you will never know. The little 20% I tell you is a lesson to teach you. My personal life means my current living situation, the things that I deal with every day, my daily operations, my private information that you don't know anything about. Okay, that's my personal life. My private personal life that I do not discuss, you don't know I don't discuss it because I don't discuss it. That's why you don't know it. So, what I do voluntarily give you is basically I'm repeating the same story that I've been repeating for the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years since I left Atlanta. I keep repeating the same story, which is how I ended up in that terrible relationship with my son's father, which was good until it wasn't. How he drained me financially by encouraging me to let go of business partners. And then when it came time for him to do the legwork that he needed to do in order for us to be in a better place financially, he didn't want to do that. He wanted to sleep around with other women. Then I proceed to tell you how I got out of that situation. Now, I do share a couple of stories about, how I learned about money, how I dealt with money in the past. And that's the point. So people can understand no matter how many mistakes that you make with your finances, no matter how many times that you make the same mistake when it comes to your money or you're overspending, or no matter what someone in your family taught you, you can always change your situation, period. Always can. So my stories, my little tiny ass stories that I share, because if you notice my book was little, that's all you get, 20% of my life. You notice I talked a lot about, if you read my book, I talked a lot about my journey, my lessons, and it was a small book. Let that sit with you. Let that sit with you. Because I see, because a lot of the complaints that people have is, your book was so small. It was so small. I said, yeah, it's a basic introduction to a guide. And I need you to understand basics first. And I'm going to breadcrumb anyone who wants to learn, because it's a process. It's not something I could teach you in one book. But here you go. On an Opulence, the road to becoming a virtual millionaire. Let me introduce you to myself so you can know what I've been doing with my life all of this time. So you can know how I got to where I am right now and how I'm going to improve each step of the way. And let me take you on this journey. That's what my book is about. Okay? It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not complicated. Now, a lot of times, like the other day, or even earlier in this live stream when I was talking about um, collateral assignment for life insurance, even using those terms right there confused people. When I talked about it the other day on Facebook, I got a lot of people inside of my messenger saying something to me along the lines of, please explain to me this collateral insurance thing because I don't think I understand this. Explain it to me. That's why I didn't get into crucial details in my first book, because I felt like I really gotta slow down on the financial terms, because a lot of people just don't know what they mean. And it doesn't mean that they're dumb. It doesn't mean that they're stupid. The only way I'll classify somebody dumb or stupid is if they're doing that dumbass trolling people be doing all the time. That's the only thing that I think is dumb and goddamn stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like this Red Army person. being a fucking weirdo. It's always somebody with a fake ass account. That's another thing. Let me tell you something about a lot of cowards. The reason why I can't stand trolls so much is because trolls never take accountability for the shit that they post. See, one thing about me is I keep it a buck. I'm going to take responsibility for whatever it is that I say. I put my face out there, I put my name out there, and I say, this is what I have to say. This is what I think. It takes bravery to do that. Because a lot of people don't know how to think on their own. And sometimes they think on their own, but they are too afraid of being chastised by other people because they themselves are unique and made up their own mind and decided to be independent instead of following behind a whole bunch of other people. Okay? Troll. I delete and block people because they do troll shit. That's why I delete and block people. See, let me explain something. And I've said this on the internet as well. Delete and block is a real thing. People do it all day, every day. See, you may be able to disrespect me on your own platform and say what you want to say or be ugly, and do that stuff. But I protect my energy. So if I feel like you are agitating it or purposely trying to provoke me or try to get some specific type of emotion out of me, I'm going to block you. I'm going to delete you. Now, YouTube, what a lot of people don't understand, a lot of trolls is when you use that account that you're using to troll, when you use it to troll, right, or you use it to cause harm, YouTube picks up on the behavior. The algorithm picks up on the behavior that you have, and 9 times out of 10, if you start posting somewhere else that maybe their channel has a blacklist or something like that, and you start posting terms inside of that blacklist, YouTube will delete your comment for me. A lot of times I don't have to delete shit because YouTube sees it, says no, thank you, and deletes it for me because I have a list. A lot of it might be held for review. Like a lot of times, y'all comments just sitting there in the held for review tab. And I tell people all of the time, if you decide to use terms that's in my blacklist, YouTube's going to hold your comment. I'm not going to look at it. You know what I mean? I might, maybe, but I don't got time to sit here and deal with people that don't know how to control themselves. I just don't have time. Some people really are genuinely trying to understand your perspective. Let me tell you something about people who are genuinely trying to understand my perspective, right? Usually the people that are doing that, they come in with their real profiles. They ask me questions that don't have nothing to do with my personal life. They don't ask me stuff like, why do you delete and block people? Because they know common sense is I delete and block people because they do shit. I'm not just going to delete and block some person just because. Who does that? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not just gonna be like, you know what? I don't like this person, and they're a nice person. If you're a nice person, or you're saying something that I can chew, you know what I'm saying? Like something that is the meat and potatoes, and we can have dialogue. I'll keep it up. But too many people, especially on YouTube, this is not Facebook, it's not Instagram, it's YouTube. For some reason, people think YouTube is the place to go to be stupid or be retarded or stalk people or harass people. I swear to God, there's so many criminals and mental health patients on YouTube. Everywhere else, I swear to God, everybody else can have regular dialogue, regular grown up, normal dialogue. You have to remember, I'm over 35. I'm not one of these little kids out here. Y'all sit here and go back and forth and clown each other. And I don't got time for all that. I'm not about to sit here and waste my internet time. No, I'm on the internet to teach. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm here for. So if you irk my nerves or you trying to disturb my energy, I'm going to block you. I'm going to delete you and keep it moving and interact with people who genuinely want to have a genuine interaction with me. They want to learn something from me. You know what I mean? They want to learn from the mistakes that I made because 9 times out of 10, that's what I'm talking about. Most days it's like, okay, this is what I did, right? And I don't want people to do it because I know the consequences of that thing. So I did this, don't do that. That's my biggest thing. Respectfully, sis, some people may not want to put their legal name out just to interact on YouTube or on social media. Yeah, that sounds fine and dandy and everything, but while you're doing that, while you're being quote unquote private, it doesn't mean reach out to other people and be a problem. A lot of people think, oh, because they don't want to put their legal name out there, then that means that they can go around and harm other people, troll other people's comment sections, say mean stuff to them, try to be savage and sadistic all of the time. Don't nobody want to be dealing with that every time they get on the internet. Like, I swear to God, people who get on here with fake profiles, y'all make the internet fucked up. Like, don't nobody want to be interacting with the negative stuff all the time. Who wants that? Like, I want drama free stuff over here. I'm trying to have fun on the internet, not be on the internet arguing with a whole bunch of people who are trying to make me angry or hurt me or so. Who will want to interact with you? Thank you, Shatika. Miss Watkins. Don't nobody want to interact with somebody who is always trying to provoke them all of the time. I see the black sector of YouTube. I see what people be doing to each other all the time. Sometimes I can't even understand why a lot of the stuff that's on here gets the views that it gets when I see people just arguing back and forth with each other. What I've loved seeing since the pandemic is a lot more positive content creators. I can tell you that much, because that has impressed me. Because before the pandemic, the black sector of YouTube was disgusting. Since the pandemic, it seems like a lot of better, newer, fresher content creators who have way more positive things to do with their time has decided to do more content. So I'm starting to see more business content, more money content, more law of attraction content by black people. And that type of content I was only seeing from white people. White people was flooding YouTube with business, finance, positive stuff, to help you with your social media. But now, black people have picked up on that stuff and like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to market X, Y, and Z. I'm going to teach you how to make money off of this. I'm going to teach you how to monetize this. I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. That's the type of content I've been wanting to see since I started YouTube. Ever since I started being on social media in general, all of my content has been positive. What I'm doing right now is not some new thing. It's always been Soncerae is positive. If you go look at my Instagram, how many years I've had Instagram, I don't care how far back you scroll. You can scroll until your fingers bleed, and all you're gonna see is a whole bunch of positive shit. For years I've been doing this. So being a life coach or encouraging everybody to be better has been what I've been doing. The problem is my personal life and the stories I decided to tell people. When I did decide to start sharing a little bit more of my life, people start focusing more on my personal life instead of the positivity. So that's why the things are the way that they are. It isn't because I was always telling my business or I was always telling my personal life. No, I just decided that one day after I'd been on the internet for a while, living a private life, I was like, you know what? I'm about to tell people my story and see what happens. Just because I share a story, the same goddamn story, doesn't mean I tell all my business. And that's the problem. And even if I did share all of my business with the world, that would be my prerogative. That would be something that I choose to do for me and whoever else wants to learn from me. That's my reason for the internet. I don't know what everybody else is doing, but it's for me and the secret society and Echelon and the people who are supportive of me, the people who love me, the people who listen to me all the time, people who buy my books, people who like my stuff, the people that share my stuff, people on TikTok, people on Instagram, hundreds of thousands of people. I love those people. They don't cause me harm. They don't lie about me. They don't try to get, people not to like me like that. That's another thing that's weird to me. Recruiting other people to not like someone. The energy that you're putting into recruiting other people to not like someone is the energy that you could put into creating more wealth for yourself, creating a more stable environment for you and your children, or you and your family, you and your girlfriend, you and your whatever. Like, let me tell you something about this Lord Gaelic person. I heard somebody say that this guy, Lord Gaelic, right, who has a YouTube channel, he was one of the first people who put a review on my Amazon books, right, on my Amazon book. And I couldn't understand how somebody who spoke so negative about me for so many years on their own channel, and years is a listen. If you sitting there talking about somebody negative for years, you have a mental health issue. Like seriously, somebody you ain't never met, you don't know. That shit is a waste of energy. I don't know how anybody could do some shit like that. But he been talking about me for years on YouTube. So when somebody told me he was in my Amazon reviews saying something, I was like, here comes that same cult of negative ass people. They're about to flood my Amazon reviews because that's what they're known for doing. What they're known for doing is going all over the internet, posting negative shit about me, right? So this Lord Gaelic fool, right? He's posting whatever, posting some bullshit inside of my chat. And I was thinking to myself, when I seen him, I recognized it immediately. I was like, I'm gonna read this later. He called his review clickbait, right? I said, I'm gonna read this later. I can't read this right now because I don't have time to keep stopping and paying attention to a hater. That's a waste of damn energy. And the problem is y'all keep wasting y'all goddamn time with dumb shit. So anyway, this Lord Gaelic person, he used to make messed up videos about my son's father. He used to make like funny videos about my son's father being having a learning disability because my son's father is kind of off a little bit, right? So this Lord Gaelic person used to make videos of my son's father making fun of him, and then he would make negative videos about me. Right now, I can only imagine maybe he's doing it because it's the only time people pay him attention. Because if he talks about himself, maybe people won't care as much. So he spoke about me, right? So when I saw the review, I thought to myself, the energy that this dude put into buying my book, right? You spend the $25.99, you pay for the shipping, unless shipping is free on Amazon, you pay for all that just to read a book about a woman you hate, and you think that's logical. If you didn't like me before and you didn't like my videos before, why the fuck do you think you would like my book? You wouldn't. The reason why you bought it was to be hateful. I already got your money, so that's you supporting a situation, right? You see $25. That's you showing me support. If you don't like somebody, why would you show that person that level of support? That doesn't make any sense. Like, if I don't like somebody, I'd be goddamn if I read a book of theirs. If I spend any money on them, because I don't like them. So that lets me know that this person had a malicious, you know what I'm saying? A malicious intention when they bought the book. They only bought the book to read it, to find something negative to say about it and put it in the review. And I thought about this Lord Gaelic person, right? And when he first started talking to me and how people keep sending me his personal information, right? I remember when he first started talking to me before. And the thing about YouTube is you can't trust nobody on YouTube. So if you are a part of a group or a community on YouTube of people that you interact with all day, you have to understand a lot of these people got too much time on their hands, and a lot of people are so free. They got so much free time that they'll sit down and they'll Google you, or they'll try to dip into your personal life. So when he first started talking about me, people were sending me all types of shit. I mean, they were sending me where he worked at, the names of his kids, what's the school they went to, damn address, all of this stuff. And I was thinking to myself, oh my God. Like every time somebody's beefing with me, somehow somebody emails me their personal information. So that means I do have supporters, or I have people out there who just want to make a mess. Because they used to be like, here's Lord Gaelic's personal information. Why don't you post it onto your blog? That's what they used to say all the time, emailing me that shit. And I used to just be like, how the fuck do these people find out these people personal information and then tell me to post it? And if I sit up there and post it, they're gonna try to make me out to be the bad person. So I'm not even fucking with that shit. I'm not about to sit up here and post, this dude's personal information. But they show me that he used to work at a correctional center, I think. And I don't know where he works now. I don't really care because I don't care about his personal life, but I do know that he's a father. And if he read my book, it would make sense, right? It would make a hell of a lot of sense for him to have seen my son and my love for my son, and him look at his own life and relate how he feels about his own children. Instead of using my book as a way to motivate him to do better in his own life, because honestly, he couldn't be doing that good if he sat there and wrote such a terrible ass review about somebody. Because I don't give a fuck how much I don't like a product. I'm not gonna sit up there and write no dissertation about it in the reviews. It's just not that deep. That's something that Karens do. You know what I'm saying? That's something that somebody that ain't got no goddamn sense do. You know, I just like, oh, I don't like the product. I ain't like it. I ain't gonna buy it again, or I ain't gonna deal with it again. But I was like, if this dude will put more energy into becoming a better father, creating a trust fund for his daughter, going out there and teaching her some of the things that wasn't taught to me, he could have a better experience or be more successful than me. And that's what I don't understand about a hater. And the things about it is haters hate so much. They got so much hate in their eyes. They're unable to learn anything from someone or see somebody else's lifestyle and use that as a damn trampoline to push further to make their life better. You know what I mean? Like no man who is a father, is a husband, a businessman who's wealthy, who's any of that, would have the time and energy, if they are a good man, good father, good husband, good business person, would have time to do some shit like that to another human being that they claim that they don't like. And that's the shit that proves that these people be having mental health issues, because it makes no sense to do something like that. Because like I said, if I don't like you, I ain't about to be buying your book. I ain't about to be following you on Instagram. I don't follow nobody on Instagram, nobody on YouTube, nobody on Facebook that I don't like. If I don't like you and I see you in my timeline, that's it for you. You deleted and blocked. If you troll me, you deleted and blocked. I'm not gonna keep visiting you. I'm not gonna keep coming to your channel. The fuck for? That's not making me any money. That's not helping my life. That's not improving who I am as an individual. What good is that shit doing me? What, a laugh? 2 minutes of me being like, ha ha ha, I wrote something negative about somebody? Y'all niggas are sadistic. Especially men. Especially men. It's always, I swear to God, men hate, hate more than women. I swear to God. A woman will be like, let me protect my energy. I'm good, sis. Let's, part ways. Men, on the other hand, man, they gotta stalk you and harass you and write bad reviews and make videos about you and make posts about you. It's like, ugh, what a creep. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Man, that shit weird as hell. And then the problem is when men do stuff like that, they have enablers and people around them that make them feel like what they're doing is a good thing, or it makes sense, or it's entertainment, or it's funny. That shit is stupid. You taking time away from being a family man, being a father, being a husband. And if you're a woman hating, it's even worse. It's like, sis, fix your own crown. Use that energy that you got, that you hating on another chick, jealous, envy in your eyes, or even if you just simply just don't like that chick. Sometimes you just don't like somebody. When you don't like them, stop putting your energy into them. Put it into yourself to help you create a better life for you. Not focus on them, on what they doing and who they with and who they sleeping with and where they live at and what car they drive and all that goofy shit. Like, you a fan. At some point, you become a fan of theirs if you claiming that you hate them, but you know every move that they make, or you worried about everything that they do. That shit is insane. That's why so many people have unfulfilled lives. Their lives are so screwed up because they put their energy in the wrong place. I'm not about to be that. Thank you, Shatika. I have been doing this for years. How to make money, dating advice, spirituality. That's all I've been talking about since my early 20s. This is not something new. It's not something new. So the only difference in who I am now versus who I was maybe pre-pandemic, or who I was when I was dating my son's father, now I'm just back to the woman that I was before I met him. Back to the woman that I was before I started entertaining these manosphere men on YouTube, because you got the manosphere men who can't stand women. right? The whole manosphere. They don't like women. And I used to tell people all of the time, there's this group of men, there's this movement of men who don't like women. And it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because they're recruiting a whole bunch of men who have no father figure. There's no real true leadership. They're out here frustrated with women. They don't have any direction to go into, and they keep drinking the poison. They, negativity begets more negativity. So I used to talk about this movement all of the time, and now people are seeing it at full fledged. They're seeing it bigger than what I've been saying it was for so many years. Now people are like, oh shit, they got these weird ass, like all male movements who hate women. I'm blocking them too. I'm blocking them and deleting them, blocking them and deleting them, block. Or I use my restrict button. I use my restrict button on Instagram often. It's like, okay, you still want to see me. But let me tell you something. I can't control what you think, what you say about me, but you will respect me in my presence. What you want to do behind my back, knock it out. That's your business. You want to do that, just don't stalk me. Just leave me out of it. Especially if you got negative feelings, but you won't disrespect me in my face. I get to choose what's in my space. And a lot of people like to invade other people's space, invade other people's privacy, and I'm not for it. You know what I mean? I'm not for it. Everybody that's on the internet, or let's just say not internet, let's say they aren't an influencer or a content creator. Maybe they're a celebrity. Maybe they are artists. Maybe they're an actor. Maybe they're whatever. A lot of us share our private story, one private story, maybe another one to teach somebody else a lesson. We all have done it. Will Smith does it all the time. Jada Pinkett do it all the time. That's what her little Red Table Talk show come from, is her talking about her personal stories. Speaking about your personal stories or your personal journey to help someone else is not some type of crime. It's not some type of negative thing that you're doing. If you know that your story is going to help someone else, if you know that your journey is going to improve the life of someone else, tell the story. You can help someone. You never know. You never know, because I'm telling you, out of all of the stuff that I sit down and I look at on the internet all the day, most of the things that have actually helped me been other people's stories, other people's experiences, and how they triumphed through something else or how they overcame something. Those type of stories give you hope and motivation. That's the reason why I tell the stories. And most of the stories be of me making a poor decision in a man, or making a poor decision about money, making a poor decision about friends, some shit like that I did 10 years ago, or even yesterday. You know what I mean? Because life is like an ongoing learning process. You just keep going for years. You never stop learning to your very last day. There's a lesson to be learned. And you have to be okay with that, and you have to be okay with learning from other people. If you don't like the way someone is teaching something, you're not a part of their tribe, and that's okay. That's all right. Just go find your tribe. Don't stalk the person that you don't like. You don't like the tribe, so it's like, I don't like the specific tribe. I don't like the secret society. I don't like the echelons, so I'm going to stalk every single one of them. No, stupid. Work on your own tribe. Do your own thing. Anyway, I gotta go. Remember my book on the Opulence. You can buy it off my website, Soncerae.com. If you want to download a PDF, it's a link up there for that. Or you can, if you want a paperback, or if you want it on Kindle, you can order that off of my website as well. Okay. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram at The Real Soncerae. Follow me on TikTok. I think it's Soncerae Monique Clips, right? I don't know like a motherfucker. I don't know. Keep in mind, I am going to be doing my podcast about money crimes next week. Also, I will be back on OnlyFans. Yeah, I will be back. I will start shooting again this weekend, and I will put some more stuff up on my OnlyFans. Remember, I do not do pornography. That is not my thing. Don't ask. Okay. But if you want to see the new stuff that I posted, the new pictures, I'll be up there. Okay. Listen, MJ23 to LA Goat 2. What happened to MJ23 to LA Goat 1? Where's that account? Where is that account? Listen, I say this to men all the time who ask me who want to go on a date. Men ask me this all the time. In my DMs, in emailing me, I'm walking down the street. What I keep trying to explain to men is, number one, if you're talking to me online, I don't date online. I wasn't dating online like that before I met my son's father. But after meeting my son's father online and then dating him and then our situation with the way that it did, I no longer date online because of that at all. Like I wasn't really doing it before, but I'm definitely not doing that shit now because men use the internet to prey on women. Men get on the internet, try to be whoever they think women want to be, hide their wives and girlfriends and make up lies and shit. And then when things don't go their way with me, they get onto the internet and they lie about who I am as a woman. And that's a problem for me. You know, I can't even go on a date with a dude online because niggas are so corny that they'll go on a date with me. And if I say they can't go on a second date, or if they can't sleep with me, these fools will use the internet to try to tarnish my reputation. That is what I'm trying to avoid. That's why I don't date online. Now, in person, right? I meet guys in person all the time. They be like, take you on a date. Now let's go on a date. Ooh, blah, 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 blah. I'll be like, listen, you going to sign an NDA? Where we going? What we doing? Let's be friends first. Let's talk a little while. Because I want to get to know, I want to do a whole bunch of phone screenings first when I meet a guy, just to see who he is. But I try to avoid dating because I don't want to introduce my son to just any random man. He would have to be around for a while. We have to be friends first. And a lot of men just do not have that patience. A lot of men just want to sleep with me immediately and they can't. I'm not for it. And I know what going on a date means. Going on a date means I want to take her out to see if possibly after we could get down. You know what I'm saying? We could do the horizontal, whatever. Nah. I'm just not that type of woman. I don't do all that. I'm not. I ain't been on a date in a long time. A long time because I'm taking care of my son. My focus is my son, my career, my household, just working on myself, working out. I did say on my Facebook, if you looking at me on my live stream on Facebook, I was talking about how tired I am. I'm so tired all the time because I get up at 4 a.m. and a lot of times I don't go to sleep until like 10 or 11 and sometimes midnight. The other night I went to sleep at 2, woke up at 4 and started working all over again. And I don't get a lot of sleep. And it's hard to raise my son, handle all of my businesses, work out 3 times a week. I want to work out every day, but I can't because I'm tired. So I was like, give me some suggestions on how to get some energy because I'm struggling over here. People was like, sea moss. Like, what the fuck is sea moss? I asked my daughter, I said, what's sea moss? She was like, sea moss. So I was like, so what am I supposed to put it on? Like, how do you eat sea moss? Or I think maybe they have like capsules. I was looking on Amazon. They had like some capsules. Somebody told me to do B12 shots. I don't know. I need something for energy because I want to lay off the caffeine. The caffeine from the Red Bull and the coffees that I drink all the time, they're breaking my nails off. They're making my hair kind of brittle. You know what I mean? So I want like to consume something other than that. So, if you have any suggestions about that, you can hit me up. You can have a good man in LA and I won't put our business on the internet. I have daughters to protect. I don't believe you. Niggas, y'all be saying anything. Y'all be saying anything. Men, I swear to God, men be on their best behavior until they feel like they got you. I noticed that. Like men will be, the best dudes in the world. Like I used to say, my son's father was amazing. Like we didn't have like a terrible relationship until it was like over. Throughout our relationship, it was pretty decent. Wasn't bad at all. I mean, not even from his end, honestly, because we spent more time like doing stuff. We weren't like in the house chilling, laying around all the time. We would go do something constructive with our time. And so the first couple of like months was pretty decent. And I tell women all the time, be with a man through all seasons. Get to know him through all seasons first. Get to know how he is under pressure. Get to know how he is when he doesn't have any money. Get to know how he is when he see a woman that's prettier than you. See if he loyal. See if he really still talking to his ex. See if he's still sleeping with his ex. See how much money he make for real. Because he could lie to you about how much money he making. Ask him what he's doing with his future. What is it that he really trying to do? These are questions a lot of women don't ask. That's why I said at the beginning of the live stream, when men ask women, what do they bring to the table? That's equivalent to a man saying, where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's a good question. I don't know why women get so upset with this question. But y'all need to be questioning each other. Y'all need to be asking each other this shit straight up. Because you don't want to create a life with someone who is terrible. And every day I feel for my son. I just posted a post on my community tab and on Instagram and on Facebook where I have a lot of men making fun of me for being a single mother, and they always say, "Oh, your son gonna end up like Lil Nas X. Your son gonna be homosexual because he, you raising him. You a single mother." And so I put up a link of a Double XL magazine article where it was talking about Lil Nas X's father defending him against people who are making fun of Lil Nas X because they feel like Lil Nas X is not taking care of his mother because his mother is an addict. Mark sent me this article, right? It was funny. Mark sent it to me. I said, thank you for sending me that, because guys always swear up and down that my son is going to turn into Lil Nas X because I'm raising him alone. And I need people to understand that inside of the LGBT community, there are plenty of people who were raised by both of their parents. Lil Nas X has an amazing father who loves him and has been very supportive of him. And he's homosexual. Lil Nas X is homosexual because that's what he is. It isn't because he was raised by a single mother. Okay? He had both of his parents. And a lot of people, a part of the LGBT community, have both of their parents. It doesn't mean, just because a person chooses to be homosexual, it doesn't mean that they were abused, lied to, hurt. It's plenty of heterosexual people that were abused and hurt and lied to and treated bad by their parents. So my son is going to turn out to be a decent dude because I'm going to teach him how to be a good person across the board. He's going to have a decent character because I'm going to teach him how to have a decent character. No, I can't teach my son how to be a man or the version of a man that men want people to believe that they are. But honestly, I just feel like for the most part, these men out here who've been taught how to be a man aren't necessarily doing what they need to do, because there's too many men out here losing. It's too many broke dusties out here. It's too many unemployed dusties. It's too many dusties on drugs and alcohol. It's too many promiscuous ass dusties. It's too many men out here lying to women when they ain't got to, because there's plenty of women who will break them off some pussy easy. But it's still men out there just doing that. So it's like when I think about when men say to me, you can't teach your son how to be a man, it's like, hopefully I do a better job than the person that taught you. Because when I look on the internet and I see men interacting with each other, a lot of times it's disgusting. Don't get it twisted. There's been a lot of good men out there that have helped me. And I say that all of the time. Like, a lot of people think because I speak the truth about men, I must hate men. Not, because I give men props all of the time. Not a lot of men get to see me when I'm defending them. Like I said, I was on Tony Gaskin's Instagram account yesterday and the day before that getting chewed out by women because I was telling them men have a right to have an option. Men have the right to ask women what they have to offer. I don't see how that could be offensive, but women find it that way. Anyway, I gotta go, y'all. Have vision and stay focused, and remember what I said about my book. Go to Soncerae.com. You can download the PDF, or you can go to Amazon. That link is on my website as well. You get a paperback book, or you can get it on Kindle. It's up to y'all. But inside of it, if you look at the live stream that I did before this one, it breaks it down by chapter what I talk about in my book. So if you look at my Amazon reviews and they be like, she don't talk about this and she don't talk about that, that's some bullshit. Okay. You can look at the live stream I did for this and for before this one, and I break it down for you. Okay. Anyway, I gotta go. Have vision and stay focused, y'all. Namaste.